Our next speaker, I sort of poached him from District 7600. I went to their district conference in the fall, and I heard him talk about the media, public relations, and how we can get the word Rotary out. So David Saunders is here. He is the President and Chief Idea Officer of Madison plus Maine. It's a marketing firm out of Richmond. He is a Rotarian out of the Midlothian Club. So David, welcome to 75.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Greetings from Midlothian Rotary Club. And thank you for the hospitality. It's great being here at the homestead. We've been here a couple of times. We're lucky. It's only 3 hours away. Today I brought my 11-year-old son, Jack, over here. Tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, I'm calling him my leprechaun. So that way we can see if he can get into the bars with me. All right. I'm going to, Cap, I apologize. You've already heard this before. But, and Woody, I apologize. You've heard a lot of this before as well. Let's see if we can get right to it. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and hopefully you'll learn something here. I'm going to talk about a few things today. Basically, the topic is the age of convergence, communication, social media marketing. Take a look back at history. Take a look back at my personal history. How about that? Does that sound exciting? No. The history of Rotary. We're going to talk about Web 1.0, Web 4.0. If you don't know what that means, I'll explain it. Where are we now? Other than the homestead, where are we in this place and time? What's next? Do y'all want to know what's next? Like what's coming? Okay. I don't know, but I'll take a shot at it. Here we go. The age of convergence. What's convergence? I'll explain that. And there's only 3 kinds of brands out there in the whole world. You know, you don't have to read any other book about branding. I got it summed up in 3, all right? 5 strategies for you, your business, your clubs, your districts, and then 7 pieces of advice on how to get on the train. There you go. All right. VCU, go Rams. All right, there you go. 25 years ago, I was at VCU, all right? I want to tell you and demonstrate to you how much the world has changed. Top Gun was tops at the box office. Walk Like an Egyptian topped the charts. Dynasty, #1 show on TV. And Pizza Hut became the first company to use the web for marketing. You could hear a pin drop. 1987, people were using the web? Yeah, you printed off the coupon and you gave it to the delivery guy. Interactive web, there you go. There were only 15,000 cell phones in the entire United States. My dad had one, and it was attached to a Cadillac. It was about half as big as a Cadillac. In 1987, I had a mullet. I didn't have a cell phone, but I did eat lots of Pizza Hut. I owned a pair of parachute pants. And I thought MC Hammer was just too legit to quit. I just thought he was the guy, right? All right. So fast forward 2013, here we are, folks. We're a little grayer. Facebook has 1 billion users. Justin Bieber tops the charts. And I think I met a couple of Beliebers last night over here, didn't I, in the Rotaract? American Idol, #1 show on TV. And 2/3 of every company in the United States uses social media marketing. 3.6 billion people on this planet have a cell phone. In 1987, Rotary had 1.2 million members. In 2013, you still have 1.2 million members. The world has changed. 25 years later, I got to meet MC Hammer. MC Hammer looks the same. I got old and fat. I met him on Twitter. All right, 1.0 to 4.0. It's really tough to read, but I'll tell you. Websites, when they first started, By the way, anybody know how old the internet is? Al Gore did not invent the internet. There we go. That's one. Internet was invented in 1969. Al Gore was a senior at Harvard. He was more concerned about drinking vodka out of a rugby cleat than inventing the internet. But we're moving to Web 3.0, okay? Web 1.0 was brochure websites. Web 2.0, you started to get some interactivity. And Web 3.0 is here. It's not coming, it's here. And I'll explain a little bit about that, but the really exciting stuff is happening in the future with Web 4.0, and it's affecting a lot of different things in terms of communications. So where are we now? All right. The number of social media users in the world exceeds the number of people using email. Certain providers, cell phone providers and certain internet providers don't even offer email anymore because people are sending messages through LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and other things. 1.2 billion users of Facebook. Fortune 2,500 companies, the biggest, brightest, richest companies, spend more than half of their money on digital marketing. The other half, or the other less than half, on TV, radio, billboard, and all other traditional media combined. Why are they spending the majority of that on digital marketing? That's where people's attention went. The average web user spends 3.5 minutes on CNN.com. We have more information today, and we are less intelligent today than ever, because the average user spends 35 minutes using Facebook. 63% of the US population watches online video. There are more people watching YouTube on a Monday night at 8 o'clock than all 4 networks combined. 23.2 hours watching videos a month, 45 minutes a day. And as I mentioned before, RI membership has stayed the same over that period. All right, what's next? You want to know the future? Here we go. A word of caution, I don't dispense financial advice. If I really knew what the future would hold, I would have bought Google at $41 a share. It's now almost $900. The physical and digital world is becoming more highly connected every day. The physical and digital world. How many of you own, the geolocation, Foursquare, Yelp, Travelocity, all of these, when you go travel somewhere and you check into a hotel, such as here at the Homestead, I checked in last night. Somebody said, "Ooh, I envy you, you're at the Homestead." And the Homestead wrote me back this morning on Twitter, "Welcome back." And I wrote, "Thank you, Homestead." I have no idea. Could have been one of you. No, but isn't it really strange when a company talks to you as like a person? Okay, well, we're getting more digital and physically connected because of these things, right? How many of you have one of these? Okay, probably more of them are on Facebook, right? Because you have one of these. Everybody has one of these. Not necessarily an iPhone, but you have a phone that will connect you physically to the world, all right? And because of that, that's just kind of the nature of things. Perception of reality right now is being altered by technology. Okay, how many of you have an HD TV? HD, wow. Okay, HD is more real than real. Your eye can't process it. You are getting an altered version of reality by watching HD television. You've heard of Google glasses, you know, like the new thing from Google? Okay, augmented reality applications. In Korea, in South Korea, not North Korea, big difference, sorry. In South Korea, I gotta watch what I say. In South Korea, they asked consumers, what are the things that you hate doing the most? And they said, oh, we hate waiting for the train, we hate shopping. So Tesco, which is a supermarket chain, painted murals on the walls of the train stations where people could go up with their phones and click bread, milk, cornflakes, send, and it's waiting for them when they get off the train. Augmented reality. If you go to Williamsburg, Virginia today and you walk down the street, you can hold your phone up like a viewfinder and find out who lived at that house. When was it built? When was it renovated? Who lives there now? It's like using your phone as a viewfinder. Augmented reality. It's already here. Web users now have more rights and less privacy than ever. The government versus Google. You may have heard of these things. The Google is like one of the only companies that actually could stand up to the Chinese government. Think about it. That's a big company. By the way, it's only 12 years old. Google has basically, there's a reason why Google wants your information. Anybody ever figured that out? Yeah, money, you're right. It's all free. Just like the heroin dealer says, the first one's free. Gmail, free. Google Plus, free. Here you go, free. Try it, it's free. Because they want your information. And what they've done is they have your information, and we have gladly turned it over to them. Okay? So are you ready for an age where you have more rights but less freedom? Too late. We've already decided. Human relationships are now more dependent than ever on digital. My wife will text me the honey-do list. It's because she doesn't want to talk to me? Probably. But it's easier for her to go milk, bread, zoom, zip, 140 characters, it's done. Right. How many of you actually have sent your spouse an email in the last week? Yeah. One of the big things about the age of convergence is this. Well, think about this. What did we do before Google? We had to go look it up, kids, and I'm pointing to you over here. We had to go to the library. It was a building with big books and stuff in it. And then in 1998, something amazing happened. Google. Wow. Instant access to anything. And it's all true. In the future, we won't even look for the information anymore. The information finds us. Yeah, you're seeing it now. Type in best dry cleaner in Warm Springs, Virginia. It'll finish your statement for you in Google. It'll give you the dry cleaner right around the corner. How does it know where I am? It's Google. All right. Consumers and as citizens, we're becoming less passive and more engaged. All right, how many of your hometowns have buy local initiatives? Farmers markets are sprouting up. All the places have local stuff on the menu, and there's buy local, buy local, buy local. There's two reasons for that. Walmart, okay, and the interactive web. And one of the most controversial things I said at the National Press Club a little while back was that everything will be connected on one platform sooner and later. It's converging. So place your bets. Google or Facebook? That's my stock advice. Convergence, the act of moving towards conformity or union. A lot of people don't like the word convergence because they think of the big Orwellian 1984, right? Well, this convergence is a people-powered convergence. Part of the problem is if I had to do it all over again, like I named social media. I think if they named social media democratic media, it would have been a different kind of thing. Because think about how it's changing. Social media got rid of Gaddafi. Something that we couldn't do after bombing his house. Social media is responsible for the Arab Spring. Social media is responsible for a lot of things, but is social media responsible for it, or were people responsible for it? People were using social media. The world has changed, and I defy you to basically look out at anything and think about something that the interactive web and social media hasn't changed governments, politics, trade, markets, currencies. It's currencies. PayPal, right? Amazon.com, communications, media, transportation. It goes on and on and on. What's the first thing you do when you hire somebody these days? You Google them. You look them up on Facebook. Facebook had been around in 1987, I never would have gotten a job. Hey kids, I got some advice. Clean your digital dirt. The resume the other day came in. This is funny. I really worked hard on this and blah, 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 and I'm studying, and I really like your firm and whatever else. And she'd written it to the wrong person. It was supposed to go to the Martin Agency in Richmond, not us, which is Madison and Maine. And so I looked past that, and I got down, and I kept reading, and she had done an entire marketing campaign on the Sudan Toyota. S-U-D-A-N Toyota, as opposed to the Toyota sedan. Yeah, spell check. There we go. Imagine, these folks have never been in an age without spell check. All right, what drives decision making? Let me grab some water real quick. My leprechaun and I were up too late last night. All right. To understand the last part, you have to understand what drives decision making. All right. Do you know the difference between explicit and implicit memory? Because I don't have it defined up here, but I'll explain it to you really simply. Okay. Explicit memory is studying for the driver's test and reading the book. Implicit memory is driving here today. You didn't have to remember everything in the book in order to get here. You did it by kind of touch and feel and memory, like muscle memory, swinging a golf club. You took the lesson, but you swing the club. All right. There's 7 P's in the marketing process. Okay, now, this is what they taught me in school. There was product, price, place, and promotion. How many of you have heard that in business? If you have the right product, right place, with the right promotion, you win, right? Not anymore. Because social media and the interactive web all changed all that. We rely now more on people, process, and physical evidence. The people that work for you are your best brand ambassadors. The people that work for you should be talking to your customers. Okay, but guess who runs social media at your organization? The IT guy. We all know we don't want him talking to customers, do we? We need to keep him locked up in the basement, surrounded by his Star Wars action figures. It's okay, Darren. Your processes, okay? McDonald's is a process brand. McDonald's used to be a promotion brand. McDonald's, I'm loving it. They used to run TV ads all the time. Now they concentrate more on process. Because your expectation of McDonald's is, I go to the window, I go to the thing, I get my burger, and it's 1:31. And if it's 2 minutes, I'm upset. And McDonald's lied to me. So I always say McDonald's is more fast than food. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Physical evidence. I know people that spend $1,000 a month on mulch and landscaping and stuff in front of their company, and $7 a month hosting their website in Pakistan. Think about that. They want the front door to look great, but they're not a retail establishment. They only maybe have 1 or 2 visitors a week. Online, there's 6.6 billion people they could be talking to. But instead, they put $7 a month towards it. Physical evidence is not only how pretty the building is, or what color your tie is, or how the logo wear on your employees, but it's also your website. And think about that being the biggest opportunity to drive that. All right, talked about the 4 Ps. All right, I told you there's 3 kinds of brands, right? Here it is. I'll save you the book. You don't have to buy any of the books anymore. There are brands you know and love, brands you know but you don't love, and brands you never heard of. 98% of most companies fall in category 3. Usually I get some Snickers from the back of the room on this one. There you go. How many of you own an Apple product? iPhone, iPad, iSomething, whatever else. All right, great. How many are happy with Comcast? There we go, folks. If you work for Comcast, I sincerely apologize. Apple. All right. Apple, one of the most beloved brands on earth. And for a month this year, they became the biggest company on earth, beating out ExxonMobil. The big, bold brands that people love win. What did Comcast do? Well, they had to change their name to Xfinity. It's what happens. There's only one strategy for you if you're the company who broke the promise. If you're the company that broke the promise, you have to change your name. Or you have to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars trying to change our minds, like Domino's. Sorry, Bryce from Minnesota, about your pizza. Sorry it tastes like cardboard. Can you imagine CEO of your company apologizing to all your customers about how awful you've been over the last 20 years? That costs a lot of money, and it's very embarrassing. Comcast, they got to the point where 3 years ago, there was a 92-year-old grandmother, great-grandmother, walked into a Comcast office in Manassas, Virginia, armed with a hammer. She was not feeling Comcastic. She smashed 27 laptops. Sheriff pulled her out. She told a story of 18 months trying to get a bill straight with Comcast. 6 weeks later, the judge let her off. It's a true story. When you have broken the promise so badly that your customers' Sunday school teaching 92-year-old great-grandmothers come in and become hammer-wielding maniacs, you have done something fundamentally wrong. How many of you fly AirTran? Yeah. Because you didn't know it used to be called Value Jet. Am I right? When you're a Value Jet and you fly a plane into the Everglades and you kill a bunch of people, America will say that's a sad thing, and America will say that's an accident, and America will forgive you. 3 weeks later, when you charge everybody full fare that was on that flight, they won't. And you have to change your name to AirTran. And that's what happened. Number 3, and I don't mean to insult Rotary International, but Rotary International is number 3. There are lots of great organizations out there, and they don't know who we are. And our biggest challenge as an organization is people love us, but they don't know who we are. All right. And while Facebook was busy getting 1.2 billion, we were stuck at 1.2 million. Here are some things that you can help change that today, and I know you can because Rotary does good work in the world, and I've been part of that, and I've been blessed to be a part of it for 10 years. If you are brand number 3, what do you think the strategy is going forward? It's number 1, just in case you were wondering. Awareness building. Using Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and all the other things to build awareness. There's 1.2 billion people out there, okay? If you're a Comcast, what's your number 1 strategy? Number 2, maybe? Right? Exactly. And they're doing this. There's Frank from Comcast. If you go on Twitter and you say, you know, the blankety blank cable guy didn't show up, Frank or Bonnie or somebody else will go, I'm sorry about that, Dave. Is there something I can help you with? Just like the Homestead tweeted me. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Are you listening to your customers, Rotary? Are you listening to them when somebody says, you know, I'm really tired of being a lion, you know, I'll only tweet about it. Probably not. Influence and positioning. How many of you are in business services, a lawyer, a architect? You sell your business or your services to other businesses? Number 3 is your strategy. If you're going to be the best lawyer, you need to blog about your particular area of law. If you're going to be a great architect, you need to put up pictures of that wonderful building you built on Facebook. Then you are the influencer. You have positioned yourself as being the expert. If you're Apple, what's the strategy? I'm going in order, so shout it out. Engagement. If people line up to buy your product the night before, you know, and camp outside, you don't have to worry about angry customers online. You don't have to worry about a lot of other things. You can just talk to them. Steve Jobs, before he passed away, actually would answer customer emails. The CEO would actually get in, and they begged him not to, but he would do that once in a while. And the 5th one is really for a variety of organizations, but optimization. If you link to Google, Facebook, Twitter, all these sites that get tons of traffic to your website, that helps build you up in search engines. And by search engines, I mean Google. Google has 80% share of the global search market. Bing, Yahoo, everything else combined after that is 20%. The 2nd largest search engine in the world. Anybody want to take a guess? YouTube. Owned by Google. Number 3, Bing. Number 4, AOL, which uses Google. There's a theme to my talk today. All right, 7 steps towards brand 3.0. And maybe I'll get a chance to talk to Rotary International one day. But right now, in Virginia and West Virginia and Tennessee, we're going to take over the world. What do you say, folks? All right. So we're going to build a better brand. How do you build a better brand? Well, I've given you some paths. Be more like Apple and less like Comcast. Get a better website. Most people are driving the information superhighway in a 99 Yugo with 4 bald tires. Trust me. I don't mean to point you out in here, but most of you have a really ugly website. It's true. That's why you're laughing. Stake your claim. Is your local club on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, etc.? Are your local clubs on there? Give me an amen if they are. There we go. How many of you are not? Just sheepishly look at your shoes right now. Even if you're not on there, okay, and you are a Rotary Club of Murfreesboro. I don't know, am I right? No? Okay, let me try another one. Rotary Club of Rocky Mount. Rotary Club of Rocky Mount. It's got a nice R alliteration thing to it going on there. All right, so Facebook.com/Rocky Mount Rotary. You don't have to be there to own it. It's free. Go out and stake your claim. Get the Twitter handle. Get all of those accounts set up, even if you're not using them. Because what happened back in 2001, 2002 when you tried to buy a domain, an internet domain? What happened? Yeah. You know where all the old domains are? You know, today you cannot buy a domain under 7 letters. You know where they all went? Florida. Old people in Florida. They bought domains. $7.99. It was a great investment. Not. But the drug companies bought the rest. So you can't buy any. So those domains aren't available. And somebody else might have already gotten Facebook.com/Rocky Mount Rotary. But if they haven't, go get it. That's the first thing you need to do when you leave the conference. Be interactive. Number 4, allow collaboration and access to the web. Okay, my club is a little bit behind the times, and we do some fun things once in a while to my chagrin. We recommended spending $20 a month on constant contact and email software, and they said, no, we can't afford that. That's $20 less that we're not sending to the community. So every Wednesday I get an 11.9 megabyte file in my email inbox, which is the Rotary Bulletin that I never open because it's 12 megabytes. So think about that, all right? Allow collaboration and access to the web. 1/3 of companies in the United States today do not allow access to the web. You don't have to raise your hands, but there's a lot of companies here that probably do not allow you to go to those sites. And I'm not talking about porn here. I'm talking about, Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, right? All right. Think about this. When Alexander Graham Bell invented this great invention, 100 and some years ago, and he said, I've invented this invention and I want to share it with business people. And he goes, how would you like a telephone? And the owner says, no. I don't want my employees talking to customers all day. There are people still alive that have that reaction right now to the web. All right? Create multimedia content. Words do not do it enough anymore. Why? Because YouTube is the second biggest search engine. Because under 25s don't read much. Semantic web. We had to go look it up. Now the information's coming to us. Gen Y needs it explained to them with an instructional video. So when my son, Jack Saunders, number 40 on the Alberta Smith Sharks, wants to improve his batting, I go to YouTube and I look up instructional videos and find 50,000 of them. Second biggest search engine. If you want to be found, go to your fundraiser. Take pictures. Take video. Every single event. When you go on the mission trip, take a better camera. Take a video and get video of this stuff. Okay? It's amazing the work that you're doing, but then you've got to take it and then you've got to load it up on the web. Because if it stays in the drawer, if it stays on the zip drive, it's not going to do you any good. Go mobile. All right. 1 out of 2 people in the world have one of these that's web-enabled, okay? But only 1 out of 7 people on the planet have a laptop. You remember the $99 laptop project a few years ago? We were going to send these to the third world. It got completely trumped by the 1999 Intello cell phone. So think about this as a power tool, an instrument of change, not only in the first world, but in the third world. If your website can't be read on one of these, then it is of no use. And number 7, people, process, or physical evidence, pick one. What is Rotary going to be in this next century? What kind of brand will Rotary be? Will it be a people-powered brand, a process brand that has eradicated polio and given the world clean, potable water? Or will it be a physical evidence brand? Judging by the signage and stuff that you're all wearing, I think right now we're a physical evidence brand. But knowing the people of Rotary, I think that it will be a people-powered brand in the next century. Thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Interact, you can leave.
I've got a little guy over here that won't sit still for too long.